Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Rink Side with Hits and Clips. Well, in this episode, I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes tour of what actually goes on behind the scenes of Rink Side. I'll give you an idea of what our setup looks like, how the editing is done, how the graphics are made, as well as many other features. So let's get started. So just to give you a little glimpse of my Panasonic AGX180 camera, so this is the camera that I use a lot for when I'm doing filming for the Uxbridge Bruins. I've done filming with this camera in Calgary, as well as for some projects like Rink Side. So this is my Panasonic AGX1 camera. I have the audio features right here. The SD card goes in there to record our footage. And then, as you can see right here, that's where I would record if the camera was set up to face Zach, but this camera is normally set up to face me, where then I'll have my iPhone camera, the camera that I'm using right now, to record this, and that will face Zach right in the corner over there, and then my laptop that will do the main camera. Usually this camera can run on about a 3 to 4 hour charge. Normally this is what I use for the Bruins when we're filming any content or highlight packages. And as you can see, there's some additional features here where XLR cables can go in, as well as the zoom and focus control. Now to give you a glimpse of the editing program that I use to edit all of our content together. So this program that I'm using here, this is the one of the clips that I recorded for the revealing of the CHL hockey cards. But this program is called VN, and this is the program right here, VN, and this is a program that I recently been using to edit a lot of our footage. The previous program that I used to use was a program called CapCut, and this is another program that I still use from time to time. However, if I'm editing any podcast episodes, this is where I will usually edit in. So this is the clip that I use for our Rink Side intro title that you usually see. And so I will just take that audio portion and put it into our podcast episodes separately. Now VN has really great features to the editing program itself. Now, it's a little bit different compared to CapCut, except you're pretty much scrolling on the timeline in order to trim anything that you need. This is the stock element up here where I'll grab any of the recorded footage that we've added in or any downloaded video graphics that I've downloaded from Canva. Obviously, you notice this clip from when I was at the Austria General game, and I was recording Deke the Bear of the Austria Generals. And then usually at the beginning of these clips, I will do like a little intro here. Did anybody see the Michigan goal from Gavin McKenna on the Medicine Hat Tigers? Then it goes right into the intro, and then you'll see on the corner here, we got the graphic appears. I place the graphic, that's the blue stripe that you see right there, that's the graphic for our bottom right corner shot. And so that is a little look into our editing portion for our Rink Side videos. Now to give you a glimpse of the graphics program that I use, and probably a lot of you are familiar with this program, it's called Canva. And this is where I can go in and pretty much customize any of the graphics that we want in our videos or our video YouTube thumbnail images. As you can see, we have our Rink Side logo right here. I will take a piece of a screenshot out of our previous records, and I will remove the background for both me and Zach, import that, and that's how we create me and Zach's thumbnail images. And as you can see, they go pretty far back, all the way to when this channel used to be OHL 20, and I've saved every thumbnail image since, so if there's any changes I've needed, then I can just go back in and change it. For example, when I was creating OHL 20, I was actually using the OHL logo, but to make it more original, I decided to just use my original font. So instead of creating this entire graphic over again, I was just able to remove the OHL logo and then put in my original font and then just replace the graphic that the other one had. And then just to give you another glimpse of what some of the other graphics look like, so this is the thumbnail image for our podcast episodes that you would see on YouTube. This is obviously our PNG logo for our Rink Side logo, and this is some of our social media graphics that we've used. This is the banner for YouTube that you usually see, and then these are some of the outros that you've seen on our YouTube channel as well. So that's a little glimpse of some of our YouTube graphics. Now I'm going to show this part to everyone, as this is something you don't actually see. So in order to keep a lot of our videos and published content organized, this just shows all of the episodes that were published onto YouTube. I'll plan to put the link in the yellow section. And then in terms of our social platforms, so as you can see, the platform was not created for all of the OHL and 20 videos. And as we get into Rink Side, you can see that they're all published over to YouTube, Spotify, and Bluesky. So that's just a little behind the scenes of how we keep some of our YouTube videos organized in our Excel document sheet. Taking you behind the scenes of our Rink Side YouTube studio. So as you can see, a lot of our YouTube videos are published or they're being ready to schedule. You can see the viewers, the amount of comments and the likes, and if they're published or they're being ready to be scheduled. And then this is a little behind the scenes of our Spotify. And so as you can see, episode 20 at the time of this recording is set to be scheduled for in like 7 minutes actually. So if I click on this, then we can edit our title, our description, we have our file that's uploaded already, our thumbnail image, then we can create their season number and the episode, and obviously we leave comments on for you guys to enjoy and to interact with us. We also keep all of our recorded and finished videos in our Rink Side Hits and Clips YouTube channel folder. So this is any of the graphics that we would potentially need, any of our recorded footage, any music that we need. Here's our CHL game footage that we've added in, and then all of our finished podcasts. So the whites are MP3 files, and that goes to Spotify, and then all the MP4s, that's the video file that goes over to YouTube. And then in our Rink Side YouTube videos, that's all the videos that get published up onto YouTube. And then in terms of our graphics folder, so these are all our thumbnail graphic images. Some of them have the original recorded footage of our first Rink Side records. And then we have our music sections with some music that you would see and hear on our channel. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that behind the scenes of how we create our Rink Side videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any other content, as well as follow us over on Spotify for our podcast versions, as well as on Bluesky for all our latest up-to-date notifications. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.